Alright, well, until he appears, everybody welcome to roundtable number 10. I cannot believe I've actually made it to double digits. I'm pretty stoked about it. We are obviously missing a friend of ours, Sam, not here for some reason, even though practically everyone has sent him a message at this point, I think.
Well, hang
Um,
on. You're using terms you shouldn't be using. You said
it is what
missing.
it is. So, I have with me a great cast still. If you guys want to introduce yourself from the top down alphabetically, I think is how Discord has it. Feel free. So I'll be the host to Bob 29.
ajmad in game, and I'm with 1% and part of the Nerds Lab.
Yeah, is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I show up at the top, so. Broken 963, resident faction hopper, currently residing in the new ministry.
Who?
The new ministry, you know, that faction that came out of nowhere again. Yeah. So we'll see where I am next podcast.
Oh, I guess that would be my turn next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coyote 423. Currently in Team Slam. Forgive the raspiness of my voice, like I said. Just getting over being sick. So, I'm glad to be here again.
Hey AJ, I got a question.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can
Yeah.
slow down on the keyboard typing? It's getting picked up.
Sorry.
Not a problem. All right, Phil,
All right.
wrap it out.
I am GodFlow from 1%, anonymous puller, and I have forced people to make way more pulls this weekend than they wanted to.
I was there for that one. I limited myself to a single $20 pull because of your luck. And I was okay with that.
I applaud you for not being tempted to round two. I applaud you.
No, yeah, that was it. It was pretty impressive to say the least.
Wait, hold on. What?
Oh yeah,
Story? You can't just
you
make
don't know.
these
Okay,
silly
well, you know what?
little-
Yeah, let's skip what we have for topics. Flo, you might as well
Start
rip the
story
story
time.
out. Rip the Band-Aid off.
I could go to the I was gonna wait for the current event we're in talk to actually bring up the story, but with the story, so pretty much the event went live, and I recently got Socko. Had to pay my way to him, so I seen the event. I think it's a great event. I tell everybody, hey, this event's awesome. This event, I can max it. I have everything I need. We're good. So the event goes live, and pretty much the only character I'm missing from this event is Gargano. So I say, all right, well, I do every pull every weekend. I do a $20 pull. Usually it's to get the lie, cheat, and steals. This time it's actually I wanted the showdown turnbuckles so I could get my Carmella sub even higher. So I was like, all right, this is a good deal. I'll go in. Hit my first 10 pull of the VIP pack, and it's I hit a 4-star bronze Gargano. Right off the bat, 301. Post it. Everybody's like, all right, here we go. We're pulling. Everybody pulls. So I was all happy. We did that. Everybody pulled. Not too many hits. Some did. Later on in the evening, I was going through, and again, I was leveling up those showdown perks, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and hit the $20 one more time. I'll get the perks. I'll get the lie, cheat, and steals. And then I accidentally pulled 4-star gold Socko.
Accidentally pulled.
Accidentally pulled, which was 2,000 shards for me. Which
Somebody explain to me why he's still here and hasn't been burned at the stake yet. He's
yeah,
clearly
well,
away.
that was pretty much one of the members of the faction go, what the hell were you trying to pull? What is it? I had everything but Ray in the pack. And literally, I was just like, I was hoping to hit some more of her shards. Maybe I wouldn't have to use one of my stars on her, whatever. And I was like, well, here we go. I was like, I should have posted. I was like, hopefully everybody still loves me.
Nope.
Luckily, though, some other people in my faction have been hitting Gargano and Socko, so it's not a total loss. But those closest to me, unfortunately, had to either take the long run or haven't gotten to it yet. So I'll be in the doghouse for at least another week.
You think that's it?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know you much, but what I do know, yeah.
Look, like Flo, like I told you before, honestly, it's nuts that type of luck. But honestly, it's never us against each other. It's us against the game. And in my opinion, you got 2,000 shards for a character, and a crazy good character in Johnny Gargano for $40.
No, it's us against each other. Stop lying to him.
No, I did a $20 pull and got a 3-star gold Gargano, so I'm not too upset about that.
Yeah, all right. Can we just shut up and move on?
I made polls
I
and
get
got
stuck with this.
nothing.
I get stuck with this crappy Rhea Ripley, and you guys are pulling Gargano. Like,
Honestly,
That's
right
stuck.
now, I made a couple of polls. I usually make the big polls, and I'm like, you know what? Everybody seems to be hitting on the $20 polls. I'm going to make some changes. So I did a couple of 20 polls. I haven't really hit anything. It's going to take a crap load of talent to max the event, but I should still get some really good free stuff out of the deal, so I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've come to the conclusion with events like this, if you can't max it, but you can at least still get some good stuff, it's not terrible.
In
I'm
this
all about getting free stuff in the game. Anything that saves me some money, you know?
So we can just, I guess we can just talk about Showdown event. We might as well, right? Or do you want to? No, fuck it. Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
let's just go straight
Let's
from.
go in the order.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the last monthly.
Oh, dear.
Carmella and Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels' gear. Because that was not something I was a fan of. I'm fucking around.
I was
I
waiting
did.
to ask you about that.
I'm fucking around. I actually gave up my spot to get a buddy of mine the gear, so I'm pretty happy with
Actually,
that.
I think last month was the 2 best characters they've ever given us, both the Chase and the Furry.
So yeah, where do you guys have Mela? B, do you guys have Shawn or no? And C, do you have his gear or no? And then I guess, you know, if is there anything else you want to talk about last month? Because I thought it was a pretty damn good month overall. I know a lot of people were not fans of it, but I thought it was pretty kick-ass.
I could go here. I thought the whole month was great. Carmella, I just took her to 5-star bronze yesterday. Thankfully, I was finally allowed to take her. That made me make some other choices earlier on in Talent Up. I probably shouldn't have, but regular Scopely angry there. Shawn, I got the gear through the faction. Got him at about 10K. And I was really intrigued when I got him, and I was like, I really want to use the immobile moveset. And then I learned about his blue and black moveset, which completely changed the world because he's popping 15 black gems at every turn, every other. And I think when that gets maxed out, that's going to be some unbelievable damage, especially when he gets that 5-star move, which is going to crush that. The event month as a whole, it was 5 weeks, so there's a lot to remember there. There is the one event, though, which I think we're going to get into after this. I won't get into now, a bunch of dirty exploiters. But other than that, what I think Beth, Socko,
There was Beth, there was Sokka, there was Godfather.
there was Godfather,
and
there was
then-
Dragon. That's the
and then there
event
was
we're
Dragon.
not going to talk. We'll get to him.
And there was the Cash Me If You Can event with the shards for all of those crazy
Which
high-tier
allowed
cards.
me to get Socko.
Well,
And
there
then
was
there was the coins also.
the
Yeah.
wonderful 7 back-to-back pay-to-win events. I mean,
Yeah.
can't forget those.
Yeah,
They were all great.
Yeah, those are the best.
That's what the game is.
I personally, the reason I was saying I thought it was a kick-ass month because I ended up getting Sako, I ended up getting Godfather from the solo, I ended up getting Beth, I ended up getting NWMDM from the Cash Me If You Can event. I got lucky and pulled a silver coin and got Tech Becky, and I ended up getting a 4-star gold Carmella and Shawn Michaels with the gear. So for me, it was a kick-ass month, personally.
You know, one thing I liked that they did at the end of the month was that shard loot where it was you could get shards of the characters they released throughout the month and some other ones. So if you were close from the event but you didn't get, particularly high, you didn't finish it off, you had a really good shot of finishing off whoever you were missing. Like I got the last shards I needed for Steamboat out of that. So.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did get them.
Yeah. And I got a 4-star Feud for Mela.
Oh, wow. For me, in that particular loot you were talking about at the end there, I knew I was taking her to 5-star, so I was just like, hey, if I'm just going to keep hitting 75 and 100 shards for her, I'll keep hitting it. 500 TP for whatever it is way better, and if I happen to pick up some of the other shards, the dragon that don't have, and then what was the other one? Was it was Sako, Beth, and
Godfather.
Godfather.
Hold up. What loot are you guys talking about? I think I might have actually missed that.
It was the cash loot that came out just between when this new event started and when or just between when the old event ended and this new event started. It was only up for about 5 hours. It wasn't up for very long.
Oh, I missed that completely. Oh,
I think Intel said it's going to be back on Monday.
Ooh-wee.
Pass. I looked at that event from Intel and pass.
You're not a fan of the Labor Day spend event?
No.
Oh, sad. Well,
See, I took Carmella maxed 4 gold. I got my urn that I needed for her in talent up, so she'll be going as my first trickster to 5-star.
nice.
I did manage to get Shawn. I agree with Demon. The HBK shards were a bit tight, especially with it being a 35-day event. To come down to the wire so tight. And that was with the mishap from the dragon event with the factions where we actually ended up with an extra 100 shards that were not intended. And it was still that tight.
Yeah, I ended up getting them actually on the very last day. I had 1985 shards. Or no. I didn't have that. I had 1935 shards and then hit the daily. And if I had stayed in the feud, that would have been the 50 shards from the final milestone. But I had swapped out with a buddy, so I had got the 100 from the prize wall.
On the event on the overall, though, I thought it was a well-rounded event. It was really long, but it was a really well-rounded event. They used a lot of different eras, all the requirements. It wasn't just, hey, you just have to use these couple of things, and if you have it, great. If you don't, well, you're just SOL. It kind of gave everybody an opportunity to find any spots where their roster might be weak and identify those for people to start working. But on the overall, it also gave the faction events were really good. The Beth event, the Dragon event, several others where it really took the faction working together. If you were in a good faction that could do all that, it was fantastic. Unfortunately, it just wasn't viable for everyone out there. I know they're not designed for everyone to max, but on the overall, I really thought it was a good month.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Anything anyone else wants to say about the month before I just move on?
I got Mel up to 4-star gold. I'll take her 5-star bronze after I bring Big E 5-star. And then I got Shawn, got his gear, because I weaseled my way into 1% at some point during the month. Big shout out to Mo and Jabesco for allowing me to not only go in, but help bring other people in to get the gear that could actually use the gear.
Big shout out as well from me.
Yeah, them guys are massively awesome. I'll do whatever I can to help them, obviously, going forth. But overall, the month was good. I think I got everybody but Steamboat that last month. A little more expensive than I wanted it to be, but it is what it is. I pulled Sacco off of a pull I did with Bob.
Fucking pain in the ass. The guy literally hits me up. He's like, "Alright, I'll do a pull if you do a pull." I'm like, I don't even want to pull right now. I'm in the middle of working. He's like, "It's okay. I'll wait for you to get off work." Okay. Cool. Fine. I get off work and it's like, "Are you really gonna do this right now?" He's, "Yeah, let's do this." All right, what pull are you doing? And he's doing some $50 pull. I'm like, that looks stupid. If you're gonna do a pull, you do the 100 or you do the 20. You don't go halfway and do a 50. That's just stupid in this game. They always shaft you on the 50. He's like, no, it's fine. I'll do this. Fine. He does the 50. I said, screw it. I'll do the 100. He hits his first. I hit mine second. I'm like, all right, well, I guess you're going first. And silver star, silver star, silver star. Hey, Bob, I pulled a 3-star silver Sacco. No, you fucking didn't. Bullshit. And post it in the fucking chat. I'm like, what the hell's the point of me ever pulling with you again? This is so stupid. You're just taking all the luck. It's so dumb.
So now I only want to pull with Bob.
Yeah, no shit. Never want to pull with you again.
But yeah, no. I got Godfather, which is cool because he's required from time to time. I had to spend to get him a little bit, but it is what it is. No faction. I don't think did any faction hit that last milestone.
In Godfather event, I don't think so.
I think Grim and Booty might have.
Did they?
Oh, okay.
I don't think they did. I don't remember them hitting it at least.
Yeah, I don't
could be
recall anybody hitting it, but I might be wrong. Since it is
If
what
anyone
it is.
did.
Yeah, if anyone did, it wasn't us. So.
Yeah. But I mean, no, wait a second. Team Slam won it and we didn't hit it, so.
Yeah, so.
So no one hit it.
Actually, you know what? I think
thought
somebody
Team
had
Slam was
made.
first.
I think somebody had made the comment of, well, at least now Team Slam will know what it's like to invest all these resources and blah blah blah, and still come up short of the event.
I mean, it was what it was, you know.
But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day.
Still a lot of people that didn't have Godfather got him, or even people that had shards previously were able to get him.
That's how I got him. I had like 150 or something shards from the first time that he came out, and because I got lucky on a pull.
I think that pull itself was extremely generous with giving out shards of Godfather, more so than any other loot per, like, take for example the dragon loot. That didn't really spit out many shards of him. Actually, I don't think I've seen anybody pull shards of him.
I think I saw a couple 15 shards, but yeah, not much.
But in comparison, Godfather, you did a $20 pull, you were probably getting at least 40 shards of them, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they just don't do it that way and just institute it that way in every new character that comes out. Because you get people that are close.
They're worried about oversaturation. They'd rather have your Ed Doggy Dog spend a good $5,000 and still walk away. That's what they want, sadly.
It's stupid. Because, I mean, think about how much more money they can make if you were, if you knew. Now, granted, I'm not going to say, $100, or I'm not going to say that their value would still be great, but Imagine how much more money they could make if they made it where it felt like it was attainable to anybody who was willing to put the money in to get it.
I mean, we've told them, like, take for example, up until the plate came out, Macho was pretty irrelevant. He was still a good acrobat. He just wasn't something everybody was gonna chase.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, why don't you put a 2-star bronze card up for $100? You know how much money you'd make off that? And then they're like, well, we'd make $100 off of that, sure, but then when you go to do a loop pull for him, you're not going to pull because you already have him, but we could get you for 200 then. So that's their mentality. They didn't say that, but that's their mentality regardless.
Do
don't
they
have to
not
say it.
understand people spend to chase the star fills?
Well, I had explained that too. I told them, I was like, not for nothing, I got the 2-star card for Drew McIntyre. Was it Drew? No, it was Ciampa.
Champa.
It was Ciampa I got the 2-star card for at a showdown, and I continued to spend that weekend to get the feuds.
Or for me, it was him and Warrior. I mean, those two I spent a little bit to get the fuses because it was cheaper for me to do that than spend on the tokens.
Exactly, but to them, it's oversaturation, and I mean, granted, he was a feud reward, but look at the event we're in right now. You can tell who the rare characters are, and you can tell who the oversaturated characters are. Kurt Angle was a fairly rare character, and now he's oversaturated to the point where he's the lowest valued card. I think he's lower than Jeff Hardy.
I think he is, yeah.
So,
Because he was offered in 2 feuds.
I mean, I get it.
That's just their outlook on it.
yeah, so
It doesn't
It
have to
is
make
what it
sense.
is.
It doesn't have to logically make sense to us. And it doesn't.
it won't. You
But
can
that's
sit
theirs.
there and
That's there.
try to tell them shut up and take my money, and they'd rather, instead of you giving them your $100 right here right now, they would rather you give them $50 3 times over the next 2 months. Is what
I
it
mean,
comes
but
down to.
if they did that, okay, but I could see them wanting to try to do something like that for maybe somebody like NWO Hogan. I get that. That makes sense. That logically, I get where they're going with that. But for some of these other guys that are upper tier, but not like the tippy top, I mean, that makes no sense.
Oh, I agree. Like, what's it really gonna do to the game to oversaturate Macho now? There's ways around it. You give everybody Macho, and then you make them chase that bad attitude skill plate that makes him overpowered.
It's because
That's-
everybody's going to have the requirement if they no longer have their rare trinkets. That's what it comes down to.
I mean, sure, but I guess if it wasn't for the fact that people or their events go based on having this card, I guess that would be a difference, but
It always comes down to the rare trinkets. I mean, look at the... We can talk about the Showdown event soon, but the point is, like, there's 4 paywall cards in that Showdown event right now.
correct.
And it's the rare trinket concept.
Although Gargano is coming out of that loot like crazy for people.
Oh,
This
No,
guy.
he's not.
No, he's not.
Not for this guy, for sure. My bucket is way too small for that one.
His shards are coming out 50 at a time pretty good, but
I think he's in there pretty good, but
Based on what I'm seeing other people hit, I would agree with that statement.
yeah, but you're seeing what they hit. You're not seeing what they don't hit. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem with the brag here channels, is it looks all fine, good, great, and dandy because you're seeing what people are hitting. You're not seeing what people aren't hitting.
That's true.
First pull I did, so 50 Gargano shard. The other 20 in the 210s.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm I'm fairly confident in saying that his shards are in there fairly well, but not well enough to keep yanking at it.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
I'm not in the mood to continue just nastily spending for no reason.
Exactly. So
But yeah, anybody else, anything on the prior month? Anything anyone else wants to say before we wrap it up?
I got one more, and it kind of falls back to the you and Broken's pool with each other's story.
Go for it.
Going back to that last month, I think I told a story the last podcast we had where when I pulled Kofi, it was with somebody doing pull for pull.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up pulling Kofi. Well, needless to say, last month, all the people in the loot for the weekly, I seem to have everybody maybe missing one person. Well, usually I'm a frequent buyer of the step up pack because it gets you up the solo quicker. And then usually that's the decent deal buying. So for weeks 2, 3, and 4, there was nothing in there for me. And I said, there's a Legends in the last one. I said, I know there's some. I don't have T. I don't have Hogan. We'll wait for that. So I knew it was supposed to come out on that Sunday. And Sunday at 3 hits, and I'm looking, and there's no loot. It's not there. There's just no weak loot. I was like, is there really not going to be a loot? Am I stuck with these tokens? What's going on? And I'm voice chatting with Hot Rod at the time. I think that might have been actual SummerSlam weekend, maybe. That's why we were on voice. And I told them, I said, they put that loot up. I was going to pull Hogan, and they knew it. That's why they did not put that loot up. So I go to bed that night. Yeah, I go to bed that night. I go into work. I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot. I work a bakery manager, so it's like 3:00 in the morning. I'm out there in the car, scrolling the game, and I see the loot's there. Oh, here we go. Mind you, completely dark parking lot. Pull the loot, hit the 40, hit skip. There's Hogan. I'm out there doing the Randy Orton pyro waterfall pose in the dark parking lot at 3:00 in the morning. Mind you, I'm wearing all white as well, so I'm glowing. Waiting for the cops to come down the street. But yeah, that was another of the last month being extra nice to me.
I mean, that's a hell of a pull to just get Hogan.
We actually had 3 people pull him out of the Nerds Lab, I believe, out of that same loot.
That's just nuts.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, hell of a month, man. Hell of a month. So, yeah, let's talk about, before we leave the month, we could talk about the Dragon event. I think was pretty shit. Yeah.
Oh my!
Might as well just rip that Band-Aid off too.
It was.
So if anyone wants to correct me if I'm wrong on the recap, I believe it was 27,500 points that each individual player could get from doing their tours, and the max milestone was 110,000 points for the faction event, not the solo event. Is that right?
I believe that's what the blog said.
Okay.
I think that's pretty correct.
So, that's how that went. We had a lot of people on at 3 p.m. that were ready to go and get their tours done, and within 15 minutes had the entire week-long faction event maxed out. And the max milestone from that whole faction event was the Volkov gear. And as was mentioned before, there was, I think, 100 shards in that event, and coin, TP, all that shit. And I guess other factions started catching on, and it didn't really need to be a whole lot of people from those factions. If you had one or even a handful of people to 2 handfuls, your entire faction could max it. So you didn't need all 100 people on deck. So once people caught on, there were other factions that started to max the event also. And I think it got up to 10 factions, 11 factions that had maxed it. something like that.
I think it was 9 or 10.
One or the other, and then they completely stopped it, and then called the event back. And everybody kept all of their items momentarily, and they made a decision to take the Volkov gear back away from everybody that had, in my opinion, earned it. I'm sure the blog had mentioned, or not mentioned, but meant to say that it's 27,500 points for all 100 people doing the tours, but it was definitely not worded that way properly, and the tours, when you went live in the game, got you 27,500 per person. So I'm not really sure what happened with the event, but I'm personally kind of upset that everybody got their Volkov gear taken away from them.
You mean the blog was wrong? Inconceivable.
I just can't understand what they meant to say. That's the whole thing.
I don't think Furpo knows what he means to say half the time.
I can back that up.
Did they take your action off?
No, so that's the other thing. They went one by one, I guess, to everybody to make sure that they didn't take back the gear from anybody that already previously had it. So I don't know if they took gear chips away from me, but I don't fucking know where the fuck those things are anyway to give a shit.
I can confirm I had the Volkov gear previous to this event, and they did not take mine.
Yeah, but did they take your gear chips?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't
What are gear chips and where do I find them? No.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know either. So
Right. So, personally, it didn't really impact me, but I was upset for the faction that they had their gear taken back from them, in my opinion, unrightfully so. They all were ready for it and worked for it and got their tours done for it, and it just kind of sucked.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's one of those times that Scopely should have just eaten the loss.
Yeah.
You know what I'd have done in that instance? You know what they could have done? They could have just put out a loot with Volkov in it and put him at a rarity for those that didn't have him, that got the gear from the event.
We tried that.
Would have made mad money.
We tried that. We said, why don't you just call it a loss and put up a loot with Volkov in it, but they said that the gear was too valuable.
I mean, yes, it's a valuable gear, but...
Too valuable gear.
But here's the thing. You know, Volkov himself isn't that valuable anymore.
Well, he was also a equal odds.
I mean,
We haven't seen one of those in a while, have we?
You say not that valuable, but he does still fit a Legends requirement pretty well.
Yeah, but let's say you have Hogan or T or somebody like that. Who are you going to use? Hogan, T, or Volkov?
Right, but let's say you don't have Hogan or T.
True. Fair enough.
yeah, overall, I'm pretty confused on what the discussion was like in that room. There were words getting around of people using an exploit, different things, but I mean, literally, the only thing people did was turn the game on and play the tours that they could, and max the event.
Yeah, you can't be doing things like that. That's
I mean, just
unacceptable.
how many weeks ago was it that some dumbass put 50 4-star gold tokens in there instead of 3, and that they didn't seem to care that much about that. But
arbitrary punishment, man.
Yeah, I mean, there was no slyness to it. It was literally getting on at the time the event went live and playing the tours.
How dare you actually be engaged in playing the game?
Yeah, and I mean, I was pretty upset about it. I mean, I already have the Volkov gear. I got it way back when it was a prize wall item the first month it was available. I cashed in for that. But yeah, I don't understand the logic in that. And then here's another part that we didn't discuss yet is they said everybody with the gear taken away would be compensated. From my understanding, everybody got the same package regardless if you got the gear, didn't max, didn't get the gear, whatever. I don't remember seeing anything extra, which I'm also still waiting on my 21 million coins, which they haven't responded to me today. Get on that as well. I think we're going on 4 or 5 weeks now. We're headed towards 5. I don't even know.
Nice, man. That's a
But
killer.
I definitely going to break the record for longest open ticket here shortly.
You haven't taken that nice customer service lady out to dinner yet?
I tried. I mean, Ellie doesn't want it. Now I get Paulo.
Oh, dear
I mean,
God.
I offer. They told me. I even ask. Usually, when I say, "Hey, can I get the next level up? Can I get the supervisor?" Usually, I get a guy and he's cool as hell. Usually things get done. They said, "I want to inform you a supervisor is working on your case, and that they'll forward it again to make sure it's ongoing." So I replied, I said, "Well, can you please check on the well-being of the supervisor? Because if you haven't seen him in 4 months, I think we need to, or 4 weeks, we need to check on this guy." And they've yet to respond to me.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
Yeah, support is not the best.
I got a new one. They closed out the ticket and didn't even send a message.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are the best.
Oh well.
That's top tier support right there. I'm having a problem. Closed ticket. Nice. Yeah, it's that's the game we play, man. But yeah, we can move on over to one final thing. I think from last month was the final set of feuds, was a set of flash feuds, and the milestone at the end of the faction event, which was 8.3 or 8.4 million per person, so it was 830 or 840 million as a faction event. And it was a part talent up and part feud scoring event. And the final milestone was the Shawn Michaels gear, along with a bunch of other resources. Coins, TP, tokens, all that good stuff. And it came with shards of Shawn Michael also, if you didn't have them too, which, like I was mentioning earlier, that I would have gotten all the 50 from there and gotten him at exactly 2,000, which we were talking about before. The shards were extremely tight on the month. But I thought it was a pretty kick-ass feud event. I liked the faction side of it. I thought it was interesting to see the fuses going for so much for like a talent up side of an event instead of feuding as much as a lot of people wanted to. I really didn't want to have to do any of the talent up because I was afraid of the new talent up, and lo and behold was correct that you need more than 2 5-star bronzes to max the new style talent ups. So I wanted to save everything that I could for the new talent up, and I feuded my butt off and ended up getting like just around 8.4 or 5 million or some shit like that. I don't remember.
All I did for this event was I mainly used a lot of my fuses that I had.
Yeah.
Still.
See, I didn't want to do any of that.
Well, I
Bob got 9 million.
I way overshot the last talent up.
I did 12 million between the two factions.
Yeah, I think I got around. I didn't actually see my final number, but I'm pretty sure it was around 11, 12 million. I know I did blast a whole lot of my fuses and 4 stars because unfortunately I did work the weekend, so I wanted to do that. When the numbers first came out, for some reason with factions, and you show the big max feud score, you need 8 million, whatever, and you have those negative guys in every faction that are like, "What? How are we going to do that? How is this?" And I'm looking at numbers, and I was like, "There's like 26 ways to score points here, guys. Whatever, sit them down and get." But eventually, we got everybody in the zone, bring in some new people, and we were able to take care of business per usual. Also, giving Gallows away out. I know a ton of people didn't have Gallows, so that was a nice addition as well.
Yeah, that was.
They did that. I think they did that because I'm pretty sure Gallows and Anderson can't be in loot anymore going forward. So his trainer ability, they wanted people to have access to it. That's why the top 100 got a 2-star bronze card. And
that was rarely nice of them.
Yeah, well,
Now, can they do that with Kyrie, please?
Who?
Can they do that with Kyrie Sane, please?
Um, I don't know what the deal with Kyrie is. I know she's not actively around anymore,
Yeah,
but
she quit.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Then we've got the new problem where the AOP was just released, so
I swear that green MP and yellow or green gem and yellow MP trainer are cursed.
Yeah, I
uh,
really.
I'd agree with
So
that. I think
whoever
they
we have
just
to get rid
They'll put them on heavy machinery and they're probably
well,
fine.
no, they're gonna have to reskin it to like a new Seth and a new Triple H to make sure that they don't go anywhere.
Yeah, but are they gonna actually reskin them? Or are they just gonna let them die this time because they have King of Kings who does the generation and they have Beth who does the MP and all that type of shit now?
Well, the thing of it
Shamrock
is
also does yellow. Shamrock and Beth.
they, but they had King of Kings out at that point. King of Kings was supposed to be their fix, and they just realized 2 gems just wasn't enough.
I'm not arguing. But that's why I'm asking.
Mm.
Do you think they're gonna like have to
Um,
reskin them, or do you think that they're gonna just let them die? Because I'm
I
leaning towards that they're gonna let them die side.
I can't see them letting him die. They're way too valuable to the game. Unfortunately, that means that if they do not give Akam or Razor out in some form or fashion soon, whether it be a feud event or not, the issue that we're gonna have is they'll change them to heavy machinery, say,
Mm-hmm.
and then who's gonna be your mega? It's gonna be heavy machinery again.
Right. Just like
You,
they did with
you,
AOP, right?
exactly. So, and they'll be even harder to obtain. So,
I could see them switching to the War Raiders. I believe Otis and I believe the Street Profits are way too valuable moneymaker not to make new. So the War Raiders are my current favorite of people that they could add on and still make a bit while making them new.
That's potential. I could see that.
Yeah, just make them both Roman Reigns. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Uh,
Roman and Paul Heyman. There we go. We figured it out.
They could
Both
swap them
Roman.
both to Road Dogg and Billy Gunn.
They can't do Billy Gunn.
they can't do Billy
Oh, that's
Gunn.
right. He's over at AEW.
They can't even do Road Dogg because there's rumors that Road Dogg's not re-signing either. So
Lucha House Party. Shut up, Ants.
Lucha Party.
hey,
Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado for sure.
Well, yeah. If one of them gets released, the other one can just take their spot, right?
Well, they already have,
I mean that's the good thing about Sin Cara.
They need
Yeah,
to be Tozawa's ninjas. That's what they need to be.
Oh, there it is. Just an endless amount of
Yeah, and Fat Ninja and Skinny Ninja.
Fat Ninja and Skinny Ninja. Yep.
Just make
What's
them
the new
Retribution.
faction? Yeah, Retribution. Yeah, they could be them. Just some randos and
Oh
fans.
man, that's great. So anybody have anything else to say about the feud milestones, the Shawn gear, the Flash feuds, anything along those lines?
I got over 12 million and it was all feud. I did 0. The only talent that I did was recruit Shawn. That was it. Everything else was done from feud points. I don't think it was difficult at all.
No, if you had a decent lineup or a good feud partner, yeah, it was pretty smooth.
The only one that sucked was the women's feud because I'm sick of using Bailey.
It did suck because it was limited, but I mean, if you understand how to maximize the feud points and you're balancing that with speed, none of them were truly difficult as far as scoring wise went.
Nope. Once I hit my
Health packs was a different story.
yeah, I went through a good chunk of my health packs, but once I hit the 8.3 and I started talking with a buddy to see if he needed the gear in the final one, was still feuding a little bit. I think I got like you said, I think I got around 9ish or so, and then I just stepped out and brought somebody else in to feud and see if they can get the gear. It's pretty cool.
But
Thank you, Bob. I love you.
Yeah.
I do think them giving away the gear is a good thing. This month, speaking of, I mean, I know we're probably getting a little bit ahead here, but this month I am kind of worried about how Walter shards are going to be rare and shit.
Well, jumping back to gear real quick, they how do you feel about them not telling people the gear was going to be given away until the very end, when people like a week earlier already had enough to buy it, and I know some of them have.
I mean, yeah, it's annoying and it's a pain in the ass. And especially from my perspective, I know you're asking because I got it in the first feud.
Well, mine was particularly because I know Mo in our faction had bought
Yeah, I was
bought it
gonna say.
too.
I think he's
Well,
talking more about the
already bought
shirts.
Mo spent
Which-
all the shirts, yeah, the second it was
Yeah.
available.
I'll say
In all
this.
fairness, that's Mo's fault too.
Yeah.
Um, how many times have we all done this? Trust me, I love Mo. I think he's a great guy. I said it before, and I mean it. But how many times do we have to learn our lesson of A, you play the shit when it first comes out, just in case it's broken and you get to double up, or B, you wait to spend until the last minute because take a look at the dragon loot. Um, not Mr. Bane, King Kong Corgi. He spent the better part of $2,000 chasing for Steamboat just so that when he's like, you know what, I'm done, for them to drop the shard loot. And he's like, great, I could have been pulling, trying to get shards. Like he did $2,000 pulls. Come on, let's play fair here. There should be a little bit more visual, but
There needs to be transparency, but there isn't. The most transparency they've given is telling us what the required superstars on the upcoming monthly are going to be, instead
exactly
of just
because
telling us what the starting week was.
that doesn't hurt their profits because now all month long, if you see any of those characters in any of the loots, now you're like, oh well, if I pull him now, I'll have him for the month. You know what I mean? So they work on FOMO, and that is the horrible thing. Now all these people are pulling for Gargano. They're gonna have Gargano be free in 3 weeks. The view has always been you pay to play right now, or you can just wait 6 months and then play with it.
Yeah, man, look at Woken.
I don't think they're going to let Gargano go for as cheap as you think they are.
It was just
I get you're saying like
Yeah,
that as a comparison. I'm using
Yeah.
that one as specific. I don't think that's how.
yeah, Gargano. He's too high up the list. However, you still have better ones out there.
Taco.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying. Gargano does some.
Why not
fat
both?
work. Yeah, exactly. Why not both? Right.
Why not Zoidberg?
Why not Zoidberg? So, anybody else? Flash feuds, Shawn Gear, anything besides the transparency as we have openly talked about? If not, we can move on to the upcoming month.
The only thing I have to say is never feud with Bob. You'll fall asleep.
I'm sorry. It happens. It's the worst. The some of those feuds just had the worst lines that matched up. Like I think I was 62 on one of them and Broken was 61. Was that it? And you got like a 28k opponent and I got like 119,000.
Yeah, exactly.
We
So
had a couple of those.
I blew through my guys. It's
How
4
is
o'clock
that
in the
fair?
morning.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even like it's the afternoon. It's not like it's 8 or 9 p.m. It's like, no, we're going to do this at 2 or 3 in the morning. That's the best time to do this fucking tag team. Like, what? And it's just not, it's not fair, those types of matchups. They didn't make sense to me at all. But yeah, that was Feud. So Broken fell asleep a lot. And then I was like, Broken, wake up, we're queuing again, right? And he's like, maybe one more.
Yeah,
And
the
that's-
game needs more vibration features for Feud.
That's how you feud.
We just hop on a voice chat and help keep each other awake and laugh at everybody else.
Yep.
No, we were on voice chat, but we were all falling asleep on voice
Exactly.
No, that's not real
chat.
cool.
Problem.
Yep. That's the best time.
I'm usually amped up from like 7 to 12, and then that 12 to 1 stretch, I'm just like zombied.
Yep. So
Well, all right. That's a good close to the final month, to the last month, I should say. I was pretty happy with it also, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all pretty stoked to have the Shawn gear. I think everybody here got the Shawn gear, right? Nobody did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go from the great month to this horrible month.
There you go. All right. So let's talk about this month. How do
Oh,
you
dear.
guys feel about the free card and the chase and the likelihood of getting the card or not? Do you have any plans to work on anybody throughout the month, obviously besides the free card if you're going for the chase card? And what are your initial impressions of the month so far?
well, let me start off by saying they did done dirty. He's such a good wrestler in reality, and they just made him hot dog shit this month.
That taunt on the
I
finisher
second
was
that.
So good.
Yeah, they
So-
fucking made him trash.
I'll bring him up because I want to chase Walter. I still think Lee might be better, but it doesn't hurt to have a second modern powerhouse NXT guy, I guess. But I brought up Keith Lee to 5-star for the talent up, so maxed out all that out. Brought up Dango to 4-star gold. I'll be chasing Walter depending on the coin situation because I see his shards are in the coin event. But
Yeah, they're putting the shards, I think, up to the. It's like the similar the old coin events where you don't need the 2 final milestones.
correct. I will say I did have a discussion with the awesome person Furpo that everybody loves. I spoke to him, told him that the community was kind of on the pissy side about the restrictions placed on getting Shawn shards in the form of top tier characters and rare characters. And he informed me, I don't know if it's true, that Walter will be more obtainable than Shawn. Now, we've seen the requirements for the side nodes, and they don't look any better as far as rarity wise, but we are seeing shards in the coin events. We are seeing more shards in the tours. My only concern is, are we seeing more of these shards now because there's 1 week less for this event than there was for the Shawn event? So it's hard to say.
With them only having 5 shards per coin event, that kind of what makes me feel like. But they did have 50 shards in the Blitz event.
Yeah.
Well, Blitz 2, if intel is it does bear out to be correct, would does have shards, which they haven't done that in a while.
Yeah. And then you got your Labor Day event, which is, I'm sure, a hefty spend event. It's
spend IGC and spend diamonds.
yeah. So you got 50 Walter shards in there. Attainable? I doubt it, but
Don't say, but we put him out there. You had the chance.
that's They do. They do that.
So y'all are worried about those ones. I'm worried about how the hell I'm supposed to beat a 4-star superstar with Dune daily. Or Dun, or whatever we're calling him. But
I'm pretty sure that even if you get him to 4-star gold, you will still have problems fighting 3-star golds.
yeah, I
So-
mean, I did my Hell Blitzes for the APA event, and I lost 2 of them because he is that fucking terrible.
Yeah, he's not.
Like, I don't recall the last time I've lost in a Blitz ever.
Yeah.
I lost 1 and I did 5. I don't think he's that bad. We've definitely had worse as free superstars,
Name one.
but
Ooh,
I think
ooh.
No, seriously, yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, I seriously want to know what your Your opinion.
Flair was pretty bad.
I was gonna say Cohen or Flair.
Cohen or Flair was bad, but he
wasn't
had self synergy.
Corner Flair
He was
wasn't
able-
bad, but he just wasn't very good either.
Yeah,
I mean,
he-
he had to use double MP trainers and all that crap.
I don't know, but like I said, he had self synergy. He his moves flowed together. Dunn, it just looks like they chose 6 random moves and they were like, oh, let's see if this works.
Well, it doesn't. Push it out.
So
I'm not
Combined
saying he's
tempo.
great or even serviceable. I'm just saying I think that I think it might take a couple of props maybe at 4 gold. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying I don't think he's the worst character in the game.
So, how would you put him on a scale against like Daniel Bryan,
The
Which Daniel
trickster.
Bryan?
Trickster?
Trickster, well, you know what? When Trickster Daniel Bryan came out, everybody poo-pooed all over him and said, oh my God, this is the worst character ever. And then later on, there was actually some valid uses for him, and he's really not that bad.
Exactly.
I have
He
max
was
4-star
weird.
gold since day one. I said he is actually a really good trickster.
He's
and
not bad.
nobody wanted to believe it.
He's really not
Right.
bad.
I think he'll be usable when he's required, and that's probably about it. I mean, he's definitely not great or anything top tier or mid tier, but I mean, he'll get the job done.
I don't even think he's top of low tier.
No.
I'm afraid. I'm
I've
afraid
got
for when they.
Y2J.
I'm really afraid
got-
for when they require him. Honestly, because if they require him, and even if we have him at 4-star gold, and the max opponent that we have is a 4-star bronze max, I'm afraid. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to deal with that because I'm gonna lose.
Especially throw a strap on the opponent and you're
Right. Throw a strap on the opponent with 40% armor. No, I don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, that. Just remember that whole last week of his daily tours will be that way in Elmo.
Yeah,
it's
that's
gonna
what I'm
fucking
thinking.
blow.
yeah, that's kind of what we're getting at.
Yeah, I mean, I have Y2J at 4-star gold. And that guy's miles better than me. Miles better. He's trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I have a 4-star gold, it shouldn't be required for me to spend cash and use props to beat other 4-star golds. I mean, even if I lose 50% of the time, 2 out of 3, whatever, I should still be able to beat him without having issue. And I'm just not seeing it with this guy. I'm gonna have to see something, but I mean, I'm worried. For the month, Walter, I mean, he seems all right to me. I'm not overly fond. I believe I even called him a tier 2 guy at one point.
I
But
think he's going to be upper tier. I think he's going to be tier 1, just because of how much damage he can do and how quickly he can recycle.
yeah.
He looks impressive to say the least.
Well, isn't all his damage from red? Like you could load up on the red defense to the point where he's completely almost useless. But
I mean, can you do that with somebody like Walter? Or
I can't do it with Dunn. I can tell you that.
no, not Dunn. I'm sorry. I see him as a mix between Zombie Undertaker and Keith Lee. That's
You're seeing a little higher on the spectrum than I am. But even with that, it's like I'm not going to say because I'll end up with the 4-star gold done. I'll end up getting him, but I don't see myself using him. My main goals for the month was getting Socko to 5-star bronze, which unfortunately he put the brakes on DDP. So I wasn't able to pull the trigger on that, at least not till I somehow get some more tech tokens. And now Gorgano's in the mix. So I don't even know what I'm doing text-wise. And then I'm probably going to end up with Becky with gear, so now I'm more confused. But HBK and Hogan, goals to get them ready for 5-star bronze. HBK is really close. Hogan needs a bunch of coins. And that's pretty much my goal for the month is try to survive Dune without going completely insane.
I mean, in fairness, I got the Master of the Universe Triple H, and I only had to bring Cena up to 4-star bronze. So here's hoping it's another month like that.
Here's the one thing I will say about Walter versus the Zombie Taker thing is sort of a good.
It's a
Is a
decent
good-
comparison.
It's a decent comparison, but I will say one thing he has the edge over Zombie Taker is Zombie Taker's trap gems make green gems, which are not his primary color at all, whereas Walter's make red gems,
The
which
only
is his
thing-
primary color.
The only thing I don't like is the amount that Taker puts out versus the amount that Walter puts out. Walter does not put
That's
out
true.
very many.
Well, that's why Zombie Taker's a top tier 1 character, whereas he might be either a top tier 2 or a bottom tier 1.
I'd put him probably bottom tier 1 if I had to. If I had to, was like the be all and all authority on ranking them.
Yeah, I could give you top of tier 2, so I think we're in the general vicinity here.
I'll be honest, I haven't even watched a video of Walter yet. I've been behind. I've been busy doing other stuff, but if I get the guy, he's still third on my powerhouse planes.
I haven't figured out what I'm doing yet. I'm gonna work done up to gold because I take all the free characters to 4 gold. I'm chasing Walter because I have a streak of getting all the chase characters since Edge I'd like to keep alive. And I still haven't mapped out what I'm doing this month for additional talent up to get ready for the next month, but honestly, I have 2 more months worth of talent up already ready. So I'm actually planning for 3 months out talent up.
That's pretty good. I wish I had that
don't have
patience.
much.
I have a system, and once I got it rolling, it's great, especially since they've started tossing in all these events where there's fuse or talent or things of that nature. So I have a backlog, which means I can do those events and still not hurt my talent up or cripple me for the month. So it's worked really well for me to be able to keep doing it.
And that's definitely a good thought.
It's also the only way I can stay focused and actually get people completed. Otherwise, it's like, oh, shiny object over here, and then you never get anybody done.
I'm in the shiny
Sorry.
objects phase.
If people looked at my roster, they'd probably be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Because I have the same issue.
Yeah, it hits us.
Yeah,
all
like
hard.
I got that issue. I was taking up Champa, and then I pull his 4-star gold fuse, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Now I can save tokens and just work on them. Then I get Tech Becky in her gear. I get the Taco, and then it's what do I do now?
Actually, funny story. Speaking of missing chase cards, the last chase card I did not go for was after that Trickster Macho month, which was just a huge drain. I didn't go for Techie, and she's literally one of the few people that I cannot get no matter when she's in the loop. And that has come back to bite me more times than I can count.
There was a loot that you could pretty well get her. They were almost giving her away in that loot. Everybody
Which
was
one?
hitting her.
Which one?
It was the loot with Sako.
I pulled in that loop.
No,
didn't.
there's another. I know one of the Hogan loots, Becky seemed to be the card that was hitting the most.
Unless you're me.
I spent money on that one. Did not get her. She did not show up.
Yep, she's in that $7.99 cash Hogan loot all the time. Everybody hits her. I didn't. Fortunately for me, I finally pulled the silver coin in the player's choice.
Yep.
And the only things I didn't have were Becky and the gear. And I was kind of like, maybe I should get the gear. Luckily, I made the right selection, seeing as I should get the gear here shortly.
Well, I'm still going to, since, I'm going to get Rhea. I mean, I'm close enough that the faction doesn't have to hit, Team Slam doesn't have to hit many of the milestones in the star event. And I'm close enough that I'll get 2 gold stars anyways. I'm going to get her gear from it. And then just when I get her, I'll get her. So
I pulled 2 of them silver tokens last month, and I asked everybody, should I get... I was going to get Becky. I said, well, do I get the Becky gear or do I get the Rhea gear? And everybody said, oh, yeah, get the Becky gear. It'll be fun, they said.
Well, I mean, now
Well,
you don't
now I
have
can
to
get a
it
5-star
from here.
gold
You get a
token.
token, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I can't bitch too much.
And you don't need to
No,
take Rhea up for the 2nd gold star, and if you get it, you can get those 5 bags of shards anyway, I guess.
I'm taking her up for that 1,000 TP bag and everything anyway, so...
Yeah, that's fair. Regarding this month, I'm planning on taking done for gold. Not because I want to, because I'm afraid I'm going to need to. Uh, the Walter chase, I would like to get him, not because I need him, um, and not because I think he's going to be the next big thing where he's going to be better than every other card out there. I think he's good. I think he looks really fun, but it's just more along the lines of getting the card for the chase of having the card, and whenever he's a requirement, being able to fill that requirement. And I'm willing to go for him this month, and in the process work some people up for next month. Uh, I want to work up my Fandango from 4 gold to 4 gold max, so I can take him to 5 bronze next month. I want to work up my Sako, because from having 0 tech tokens, the last 3 5-star gold tokens I got were all tech tokens. So now I have 3 demon paints. And I could very easily just take tech black from 4 gold to 5 bronze, but I've really lost a lot of hype on tech black, and I'm just not
That's not
really I'm not really high up on him anymore. So I'm planning on working up Sako throughout this month, in the middle of chasing this month for Walter, to prepare Sako for 4 gold max for next month also, along with Dango. And outside of that, my only other thing that I want to get ready and get done this month is Farouk to 9k, because that 9k ability is killer. And I'll be trying to chase as many 5 gold tokens as I possibly can. But this month, yeah, that's the goal, is to 4 gold done. Not because I want to, but because I'm sure I'll need to. Walter, hopefully at the end of the day, and those moves.
Yeah, I think one person I'm glad I took 5-star bronze this last talent up is Eddie.
I'm so jealous of you, and that's my next one, but I don't even have remotely close enough tokens.
That's all I seem to get is trickster tokens. I took him up and I still have 4.
Yeah,
my pool from talent up was a trickster token.
I need
Was
2. I need you to slide me 2 of those whenever you get a chance. That'd be great.
If I could, I would.
Getting one
I mean, I'm gonna take Carmella up, but she's my next trickster going up. But because I'm doing it with 5-star, I'm gonna alternate one man, a guy, a woman, guy, woman. So I run out of.
You showed me that his 5-star wasn't a finisher, right?
Correct. It is not a finisher.
Oh my god.
It does not take
covered. Do you know what it does maxed out level 14? How many MP?
What's that?
The purple move.
I don't have the purple TP to max it out, unfortunately. I dumped all that in the system.
What do you mean? TP resources are abundant. You get thousands by the daily, right?
Oh shit! Sorry. I'm more...
You okay there? Sounds like you're coming back down with something, Coyote.
Yeah, I think I was coming down with some BS-itis.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I think you gave me BS-itis.
Anybody else on their plans for the month? Walter, done, talent up, etc.
Yeah, man. I'll probably done up the gold. I don't want to just gotta get the chase. But I'll finish up Earthquake and start trying to work on Sako and HBK some, because that's ridiculous. That guy.
Yeah.
I was gonna take Breeze up to 5-star bronze, and nope, he's gonna stay for
No, yeah, for sure. You can backburner Breeze for HBK, absolutely.
He's gonna hang out. HBK is just ridiculous. Plus, that's a totally different era requirement that you don't have to worry about as well. So he's super good.
He's real nasty, and even if you don't have Hogan, which I'm learning because I don't have Hogan either, he's still very viable with the non-immobile gem setup. And even if you do not have Hogan and like the immobile gem setup, it's still great if you have the gear, which, like we were talking about, all of us do have in this.
That black blue with the black 3. Jeez.
Oh yeah. When you get him to 5-star, it's just nasty.
Yeah. Those are my plans. So I'll finish Quake off for the yellow, and then I'll deal in TPs.
Earthquake does Earthquake does work for me, man. He went through all my tours so far, the Open and the WCW. I've turned
Yeah.
one to everything, and he's 4-star gold max.
I still
I
need to
turned
build
one
him up.
everything, and he's like 4-star gold, 165. So
And
yeah,
I'm sure you're just turn oneing everything still too.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
a nightmare. If you get a strap on him, get double fury,
Yeah.
get the 30%, and you just run double yellows, and you're just like, okay, there's 250,000 turn one, and that's without the buff. And if you get the buff off, you're hitting close to like 4, 5, 600,000.
Wow, and I'm doing. I got the cheap shot plate on him too, so they go to kick out, just like tough kick outs. Like you get 10 gem damage. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he hits like peanuts.
Yeah, so I like that. I took Powerhouse Kane to 5-star bronze, and pretty glad I did, man. He already hit like a truck, but he hits like a bigger truck now. His
Can't wait to
finisher.
get the 4-star silver fuse for my cane. And yeah, Ocho,
I
you can if you have +2 tour perks, you can get him turn one with the buff if you use Shamrock.
I leave Batista on that guy, but man, with Batista on him, his finisher does just flat out like 106K without the gem breaks, and his red gems are doing like 9K right now without just with my setup.
The buffs to Powerhouse, when you get them maxed out, have been truly welcomed, to say the least.
Yeah,
They have become a
hell
viable
yeah.
class again.
I'll get that guy to 210. He's going to be doing like 11, 12K per red gem.
Yeah, it's nasty.
I'll tell you. When they had that Godfather, where you get the skill plates, I got the DX plate, the 2 words for you plate. I threw that on Kane. Oh my goodness, that is nasty.
That sounds pretty nasty, actually. Because you're just gonna have X-Brick spawning everywhere on Blast Gem, so you're just literally blowing up the entire board after
Yeah.
littering it. That's great. Well, anybody else on their monthly plans for the month, or who they're planning to take up next month, or who they're working up this month to take next month, like I had been talking about? If not, we'll go on to the showdown event.
I just hope I have time and room to finally get Elias to 9K because he got skipped over with everything last month.
Yep, I want to get Ray to 9K too, but I'm gonna hold off on him again too. But yeah, there's some other guys that are trainers and coaches that deserve that 9K. It's just a lot to get everybody there. It's always a bitch. But all right, yeah, let's talk about the Rhea event. So besides the fact that the bronze, silver, and gold stars, which were packages of items, no longer being packages of items, being sold separately for 1 star apiece, which is really pissed off a lot of the community. What do you guys think about the Rhea event and your plans for the showdown event? Personally,
I
I was
like-
in... Oh, sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Coyote.
I said I like that if you can max it and the faction can max the event, you get her. There's
That
no
you can get a
RNG
shit
involved
ton of
with it.
Rheas. Yes.
There's no RNG involved with it. There's no, maybe you get close. No, you get her. That is what they keep needing to do with these events like this.
I would agree 100%. Like I was gonna say, personally, I'm not upset with this event at all. I actually, besides the fact that they changed the star thing, where you're not getting the whole package and you're just getting one item that you have to choose one of those items, especially because the display in the blog actually shows 1 gold star for the package of all of those items. It says it contains the following. It was a little annoying, but outside of that, the event as a whole, a lot of people can get Rhea as a faction. There's good shard bags that have decent shards in them for cards that are high rare paywall technicians, that if you don't have them, you can get close to shards on them or get enough to recruit them. Outside of that, there's a way to get the Becky gear inside of this event, which is a very rare gear for a lot of people to have to chase after. That's also a benefit. And yeah, while it sucks there's no typical standard solo and faction showdown event, the replacements of these two are not that terrible. The solo event is very similar and typical to your normal solo event, of do the showdown with these cards, collect the showdown coins, do your matches, spend loot coins, etc., etc. That's almost always how the typical solo has flown. But they also have added in this particular case the tours on top of it because it's an event on top of just the showdown solo. The faction side of it is the fact that they're hand in hand. To me, it makes it worthwhile doing both, right? Like, it makes it worthwhile to chase the solo, chase the tours that you can possibly chase, get the resources that you can, which in those tours there's what is it, modern technician straps that are available inside of the
Mhm.
open tour, as well as resources. And like had been mentioned, yeah, if you get everybody on board, you should be able to get enough shards for everyone without the RNG aspect to get the new card, without having to spend a dime. And that is the moneymaker, in my opinion, for the community, that you don't need to spend in order to get the new card. That's the win.
Agreed.
I think the big issue for me with the event is the fact that they put so many of the coins in the faction side of it when they never were in there to begin with on the breakdown, because usually you knew you didn't have to really rely on other people to get because I know a lot of people rely on Showdown as their big coin hog. You got between 8 and 10 million, and now that they're cutting in half and throwing in half of the faction, you have to rely on other people in order to get those coins, which has kind of had a negative effect.
Well,
Some factions, you know what you're going to hit, you know you'll be good, even though this is a little bit different. But
here's the issue with that. There was only going to be 4 million coins in the event until people started bitching to Furpo about it, and he got it changed to where it matched a normal showdown weekend plus some a little bit. I think you get 6.9 million in a normal showdown, and they're offering 8 here. And the reason that it got put in the faction was because that's where they were able to fit it. So there was only going to be 4 million. We started bitching that that's where people get their coin, and only the people that had the cards would even like the event. So people that don't have the cards, that have no reason to push, well, now there's a reason to push. So you got your coins now.
I don't know if people remember this or not, but when they first started doing the showdown events, all the coins and tokens were in the faction event.
Yep.
Yep.
They swapped them over later on after the community griped, to be solo. That way people could kind of control their own destiny. But originally they were faction related. And if your faction couldn't complete, you didn't get them.
And you remember that first showdown event? Oh my word! Anybody remember that one? How bad that one particularly was?
I do.
It took
Yeah.
us a while to figure out, to kind of figure out and navigate how to actually kind of work showdown and max it from a solo perspective. At the time, Demon and I were just in a for fun faction. Nobody talked. We weren't in a real faction at the time, and so we just we kind of had to figure it out on our own. We were like, how are people maxing this?
There was no separate league at the time.
So for me, and probably going to come out alone like this, but I kind of like it in the way it is. Half the coins coming from solo and half from the faction. Because what's the point of being in a faction, right? You gotta rely on each other to get some kind of goals. And I understand for bigger rewards, but even just a rudimentary thing like coins that we use all the time. I think that it kind of adds an extra layer of hey, you can't max it out and get yourself to a point where you can get to a faction that can.
Yeah, I think you're going to be on your own in that one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But
I don't like to have to rely on other people to.
I don't either. Trust me,
success.
I don't. But it's one of those things where you got to have a little bit of give and take with that kind of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
I think if the faction, if you're in a spot where you're able to max solo stuff and the faction isn't growing with you, then I think it's more of you may be in the wrong faction. But I agree. The whole point of a faction is for everybody to work together for the goal to help everybody else in the faction grow. But it does take everyone in the faction working together. That's the only way it's successful. And it doesn't matter what size faction it is, that's the only way it will succeed.
Yeah. No, I mean you're dead ass right on that one.
Yeah.
I guess my opinion, I'm not really upset with the fact that the coins are in the faction side. Um, I don't really see anything wrong with it. Like was said, it used to be that it was only in the faction side, then they moved it to only in the solo side. I'm fine with it being in either. I don't really give a shit. I'm sure that if I do my solo, I'll get my coins, and I'm sure that if I do my solo, that the rest of my faction will do their solo, and we're all gonna get our coins. That's just at least my outlook on it. That's I guess the faction that I'm personally in right now. But that is kind of what it is when you're towards those top tier factions, and if you're kind of like AJ just said, if you're doing your shit consistently, and you're not getting the top tier rewards from your faction event, you're probably in the wrong faction, because you should probably be or surrounded by other people that are doing their shit consistently too. And at that
Yeah.
point, you start getting the shit that you should get from doing your shit consistently because you're surrounded by others that do it, and now you're made up of a faction that now gets their shit consistently also. That's really
Yep.
what it comes down to.
And I don't mean that to come across wrong at all. It's just if you outgrow somewhere that you're at, maybe you should realize that. And then that will make the game more fun again. As you grow, sometimes you have to move up if people don't grow at the same rate you are.
I agree with it 100%. Honestly, I don't have anything to even apologize for. I think it makes perfect sense the way that you're saying it. I don't think it's coming across offensive at all. If one of you guys are in a rank 60, 70, 80, 90 faction, and you're literally at the top of the top every single time, and you're not there because you have some sort of attachment to friends or this, that, and the other, and you think that you belong there, take another peek and just look and realize what you're doing compared to other people around you, and you realize that you could probably be much higher up and getting much better rewards that you could use and deserve to get. Outside of that, yeah, back to the solo or faction side of it. Again, I don't really care if it's coins or if it's shards or whatever it is. I'm fine with this event. I think it's a good event. I'm cool with the solo. I'm cool with the faction. I think a lot of people are going to get Rhea out of it. And I don't think it's hard at all. I think you can still get like 7 million points, which I don't even know what milestone that is off the top of my head, but I know you can get at least the bronze and silver star at 5 million, and you can get 7 million points if you don't have Champa, Shamrock, Bruno, Gargano, or Sako, and you could still hit 7 mil. So
And still possibly get Rhea, because
Right.
I mean, the whole faction doesn't have to get the gold star for it to, for it to max out.
no, the whole faction needs to get the bronze and the silver, and then half the faction needs to get the gold, or a quarter of the faction needs to get the gold and the gold from Rhea's tour.
Yeah.
Milestone 9, by the way, is 7 million.
And what's the silver star?
The
Like 7 or something?
5 million.
No, I'm saying like
Silver
it's
Star's
milestone
5
7.
million.
I'm saying like it's milestone 7 or some shit.
Yeah. But so I mean, it's
So you get
It's
two.
definitely
You
good.
can get 2 more milestones worth of fucking good shit and free goodies inside of the game for free.
5 million milestone 8 is the silver star.
Okay, so then milestone 9, whatever that is, at 7 mil, you get whatever that is.
I think overall milestone 9 is 200 shards. It's the last set of shards for Rhea out of the solo, so you can get all 500 shards for Rhea out of the solo. I honestly think it's a good event.
Yep.
And exactly.
Yeah. Also, the talent up is generous. It's Tex as a whole again. Not
Yep.
generous in the facts that it is Tex again, but it is Tex as a whole. Also, they are giving the higher points for the loot coins this time around, which they did.
Agreed.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah, 'cause I
spending
think
it's
in the Dragon event they were some ridiculous number.
like 46 or 4300, some weird ass shit. Yeah.
I know it didn't give you much of anything.
Yeah.
No.
They
Basically, a 55 pull equates to almost 9,000 talent in this event. So that's an easy way to weigh that. $100 versus 9,000 talent ish.
I mean, I overall again, I think this is a good event. I think it's going to be a decent showdown.
Yep.
I think even with the paywall required cards, that if you don't have them, you can still get a good shit ton of milestones out of the solo. And if you do have those cards, there's a really good shot at you getting Becky gear from this event. I think it's all
And-
going to be worthwhile and worth chasing.
Here's something else from this. Like I know we were upset about them changing the star to not be just you get everything in the bag to you just get one item. But if they'd have just said it was one, you can pick any one of these items in the beginning. I don't think it would have changed our opinion of the event. Now, it would have. It's just the way they wrote the blog. I think.
Yeah, that's all. That's
Well,
the thing. At the end of the
picturing
day,
it
we're
as a
fine.
package was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. I agree. I agree 100%. I'm not. I'm not in any way diminishing that. I'm just saying if they had basically said from up front, hey, you can get this gold star. You get one item. You can pick any one of these items.
Right.
It would have been fine.
Yeah, I think we all still would have been totally fine with it. We just got upset that it changed from everything to one thing. That still being said, it's still a great one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the 100 shards the first time around, and then get the Becky gear the second time around.
Yeah, if you even need the 100 shards, it depends
Yeah,
I'm
if you
hoping
need
I
them or
I'll,
not.
I'll math it out later.
You might not need it if you get far enough in the faction event, and at that point, you can sit there and tell yourself, well, I'm going to get Rhea without the 100 shards. I'm going to get the gold star from the max milestone in the solo, and I'm going to get the gold star from her tour. Now you have 2 gold stars and you don't have to pick her shards up. You have a choice between Bruno if you didn't get Bruno, Becky gear if you have Becky or don't and want to save it for when you get her, a 5-star gold token, which is I'm sure what I'm going to end up taking with one of them,
Yep.
or the 5 bags of shards with top tier characters.
Yeah, if you're 15, 20 away from Sako, Gargano,
It'll push you there.
Did anybody else find it weird that there was shards for people who are not text in that bag?
I think there was
Yeah,
Drew or
Drew-
something. Yeah.
they're all former Showdown event people. That's why.
Well,
Oh,
in all fairness, they're all no Gargano. Well, Gargano was he showdown?
Gargano wasn't.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gargano was the
Gargano was
Showdown
Showdown.
guy. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah,
He didn't
Gargano
have
was
to
out
Gargano
spend
was
to
a
it.
spend event. He wasn't showdown. He was a spend event.
Who was?
Well, he was a spend
Gargano.
and showdown event.
Yeah, but it was a showdown event though. You had to spend to
Yep.
get him, but it was part of a
Yep.
showdown event.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
It was part, and then Ciampa came with that next Showdown later.
Either
So,
way,
who's everybody
they're
using
all
as
good
their
cards.
showdown defense today?
Oh, Showdown defense, huh?
I have no clue.
I'll figure it out at about 9 o'clock tonight.
I'm gonna be putting Carmella with the red MP, red move to steal purple MP, and I'm gonna be putting Zombie Taker.
I'm going
My
5-star Carmella, all purple, and then I don't know if I should use. I was half tempted to use Dango, so Dango could just tag her back in. But Dango's an option. NWO Show's an option. I mean, he should charge your zombie too, Zombie Austin. So I mean,
I'm thinking of going with if you know, just off the top of my head, I'll probably go with Carmella and Fiend.
no, I may play around. I've got the that plate on the page that when you match green, you get red. So I'll probably throw her on there because I've got her like double fury and all that stuff. So she hits really, really hard. And I might pair her with Powerhouse Kane with the red, black, just to be a pain in the ass.
Well, I thought about Sorry, still brain foggy. Come back to me on that one.
I'll play around with it. I've got Dango I could throw in there too, just for fun, with whoever.
I think I'm gonna put Z Page and Keith Lee as a tag team.
That sounds like a go fuck yourself team.
Yeah, that one auto skip.
It's either that or Keith Lee and Carmella with the anti-immunity or the skip turn immunity.
I guess it wouldn't be such a bad idea to put Z Page and Powerhouse Macho as a defense.
Oh, I was gonna say if my Hall of Fame leader was higher, I'd put her and Scott Hall and as as defense. But Hall of Fame leader's only 4-star silver, so I'm still waiting to get more tokens.
Yeah, my page is only 4 silver too. That's the issue. Carmella though. Carmella and Zombie Taker. That'll be a good one for defense.
I'm just thinking, I hope next month I can get my last 25 shards I need for Zombie Taker. I don't know.
I don't know if they're gonna have zombies next month.
I sure hope so. I have 2 left I need.
Yeah, I'm hearing that zombies aren't looking too good, but I need to find a way to get Z Kane. I'm only a couple shards from Z Taker.
I'm fairly positive that if they do not do a month long surrounding the zombies, we will have at least a couple weeks
that's what I'm
March.
thinking. I think we're gonna get like a 2-week zombie something. Hopefully not like the spring outbreak that was absolutely terrible this year.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
That event was actually
really
what I think broke the bones and caused us to switch factions. But
Demon and I didn't have any trouble with that event. We got all kinds of goodies.
I remember.
Yes.
I remember from that event. I was running Hollow at the time, and Hollow and Booty tied for first. And I remember Booty kind of being upset both of us being upset that they gave they gave the first place prize to so and so, and I remember that causing a whole bunch of shit. So you remember that, Broken?
I do not.
No.
That was Zombie Outbreak?
Yeah, remember when they had the faction event?
I think
it was the event
Hold
where
on.
you had to win 100 with each character, and pretty much the scoring was first come, first serve.
Oh, yes,
And it
yes,
made
yes.
every faction hate each other.
Yeah. I do recall that, actually. But, yeah, no. I think if we're going to see zombies, that's the form we're going to see them in, because I believe there's only 3 zombies left that they can actually use. Triple H, Jeff Hardy, and Reigns.
I
What
mean,
about
there's
that
that
wild
Hogan one you see the picture of.
Well, the problem with that one is that Hogan never actually released. So
Didn't they have a Brains one, or not a Fiend one too, or a Strowman toy? I can't remember.
Those are monsters.
Those are monsters.
They could easily just do a combination of zombies and monsters. They were
here-
all for the October.
Well, they weren't for October. They were for WWE telling them you have to promote this Mattel toy line, similar to the Master of the Universe. The toy line is no longer there. They are no longer obligated to promote the toy line.
Well, I mean, they're obligated to make money, so I guarantee they're going to want to.
That's why I'm saying if we're going to see zombies, it might be in a
2-weeker?
In a 2-weeker.
I mean, I'm not going to complain. The last 2-weeker got me Zombie Taker. I'll take it. So, let's see what they got up their sleeve this time.
I agree.
And to make that event worse for me, every shard I seem to pull from all the hundreds that I did get were all for Z-Rock. I think I hit 1 Z-King, 2 Z-Takers, and everything else was Z-Rock.
I did a loot pool and I got Zombie Kane at 4-star silver. I need to build him up.
He's a fun one.
You've been sitting on him and not using him? Shame on you.
Well, I mean, I got Fiend, I got Godfather, I got Dango, I got you name it.
In all
Zombie
fairness,
Kane is just absolutely nasty.
I agree.
a level 1 Godfather has the same as a level 180 Godfather.
Right?
That's true.
So, just throwing that out there.
Well, if anyone else has anything to talk about Showdown, we can. Otherwise, community and anyone else that's here, if you have any questions to ask us, feel free. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, relatively shortly. We got Showdown in about 15-20 minutes.
Hey,
So
Bob, if I
yeah,
may
go
I
for
make
it,
an
Coyote.
important PSA?
Yeah, go for it.
As I said at the beginning, I'm just getting over being sick. For those who don't know, I tested positive for COVID-19 a couple weeks back. I don't mean this in any kind of a political way or anything like that, but as somebody who's experienced it firsthand, when they're telling you to take it seriously, they mean it. For several days, I could barely get out of bed. I still deal with the cough. I actually had 2 cracked ribs from coughing, and stuff like that. So yeah, if when they're telling you to take this seriously, I'll fully recover. I'm gonna be fine. I'll be back to normal soon. I'll be back to normal at some point down the road. But you know, for all intents and purposes, I'm begging you guys, whoever's listening to this, please take this virus seriously. It is not a joke.
Yeah, thank you, Coyote. Appreciate it. It's a real thing. Hope everybody does take it serious and doesn't just think it's something to joke around about. But yeah, we're gonna be hanging out with the community. If you guys have any questions for any of us in particular, we're all gonna be hanging around for at least another couple of minutes. If you have any questions for the group, I suggest getting them out sooner than later. I want to thank you all for coming out, and huge celebration for number 10. Wanted to give one. That's a good point. Aiden was actually just going to bring that up. Want to give one final shout out. We unfortunately had a passing in the community. Nathan Arms from the Unstoppable family, the Determination family, a lot of different families, has passed away. There was a GoFundMe. I don't know if that's still up anywhere. If it is, definitely feel free to go and contribute to that. I know that it's going towards assisting with the funeral arrangements for the family. We can post up the link somewhere. It shouldn't be too hard to get that done. But want to give a huge shout out. Thank you everybody for coming out for number 10. Wanted to thank everybody individually, AJ, Ben, Broken Coyote, Flo, and Sam is actually messaging me now. Some shit went down, so hopefully we can have him get his spirits up too. So everybody get some smiles on your faces. Get ready to go kick ass some Showdown. Go get yourself some Rhea Ripley's. Shouldn't be too difficult. Go hit 5-7 mil, whatever it is that you feel like hitting. And go get some free shit. Let's go kick some ass, guys.
Thanks for having us, Bob.